So bro, this was an absolute masterclass from Spain. Let's find out in this video how Spain completely dominated France throughout the whole match. To keep it simple, Spain was playing with a 4-1-2-3 formation, while France was set up in a 4-2-3-1. But pretty soon, both teams quickly switched to a traditional 4-4-2 formation. At first, whenever Spain was about to score, France was man-marking each and every player. The player was really good, because France wasn't giving any space in the midfield or on the wings. The goalkeeper had no choice but to just clear the ball and send it into the opponent's half. But France's dynamic changed really quickly. Whenever Spain applied pressure by sending as many players as possible high up the pitch, even in that situation, you could see Spain's forwards and midfielders attacking and putting pressure on France. Throughout the whole match, Spain's key area was the midfield. Spain was completely dominating the midfield, leaving no room for France to switch from defense to attack. Even in this situation, you can see there's plenty of space for Spain in the midfield, and all the French players were spread out on their wings. It's almost the same tactics Spain used against Portugal. The hidden gem in this match was Dani Olmo. The way he was creating space for Spain and constantly rotating between attack and midfield was just outstanding. And like I said, the midfield was something else. Spain was dominating. France had to come up with another plan. So France's approach was to attack as much as possible from the wings, because Spain wasn't giving any space in the midfield. They had no choice but to send the ball out wide. You can see how Spain was still putting pressure on France even when the ball was out on the wing. Alex, being the forward, would drop all the way back to a defensive position to put that pressure on France's wing and try not to give them any space. Now, talking about France, they tried to control the midfield on the van by using Lamine Yamal on the wing, which worked brilliantly. Often in the match, you could see a brilliant combo between Lamine Yamal and Pedri. If the four defenders couldn't find space in midfield, they'd send through balls to Lamine Yamal, who would eventually receive the ball in the final third, which was a huge threat for France. France tried to copy this technique several times, but Spain was completely outplaying them, and the ball was just slipping away from France, intercepted every single time. Interestingly, if we talk about Spain's second goal, it was a similar move we saw against Portugal as well. Whenever Spain had the ball in midfield, they forced the opposing defenders to leave their positions and create some space in the final third. This didn't work against Portugal, but worked brilliantly against France. In a split second, you can see how Spain pulls off this one-touch pass in the final third for that player. The defenders get confused about who to mark, who should mark whom. Because at this point, we can see all the players are marked over here. It's 4-on-4. But who's marking this running player who got a straight one-touch pass here? And this is the same tactic that Spain uses at the start of the match, where Dani Olmo gives a one-touch pass to Lamine Yamal in the final third. And in the end, I think it's mostly about France's poor decision-making, because near the end of the match, we can see the goalkeeper is completely out of position. Here, Dembélé is making the run, so it was clear that the pass could have been made to the center here. But instead, they chose to shoot the ball. Even the aerial balls weren't working from France, and neither were the free kicks. The problem for France was that whenever they got the ball near the final third, Spain's defenders in midfield would create this tight, compact space, basically forming a circle that didn't give France any room to operate. And at the start of the match, France gave away a penalty to Spain, which completely killed their momentum and mindset. Winning, because even if you look at the stats, all three shots that France took were right in the center of the goal, which is pretty easy to save. You know, they definitely lacked quality in this match. France took 14 shots in total, with only 4 on target, while Spain took 10 shots with just 2 on target. And if you look at the individual player ratings, you can clearly see how well the Spanish players performed in this match. Man, this was a really unexpected scoreline. Everyone thought France was the team that would make it to the final here. But, unfortunately, bro, the dream is over for Kylian Mbappe. But for sure, let me know in the comments what you think about this. Do you think France were just good enough to beat a team like Spain? And do you think Spain was always the better team in this tournament? Also, bro, with this, Lamine Yamal's story post has been proven right, that they indeed are a better team than France. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, haha.